is scary, scares most people. Likewise, the death trump sends shivers through the spine of many card readers and their clients. After all, death is the final frontier, isn't it? It's that ultimate unknown. Thus, it is only natural that we should be weary of the tarot death card, right? No, not me. As a matter of fact, death is my favorite card in the deck. I will explain. Have you ever wondered why there's no birth card in the tarot deck or no birth path on the Tree of Life? The reason it doesn't exist is because death and birth are one and the same. The second we die, we are transformed into pure spirit. The moment of our birth is when we return into the material world, and so it goes over and over again. Think about the Ouroboros, the serpent with its tail in its mouth. You don't know where it begins, where it ends, and if you spin it, you will interchangeably see the mouth and the tail over and over and over again. And that's the whole point of the Ouroboros, cyclical nature of things. It tells us that every end is a beginning, and every beginning is an end of something else. And so it is in the death card. Simply put, death brings on a change, a new beginning, a new birth. But there's a lot more to the card than just this simple explanation. The Hebrew letter of the death card is Nun, which means fish. How tellingly then Carl Jung described the alchemical meaning of fish as Synadian fish. Synadian comes from a Greek word kineo, which means to set in motion. Thus, a death sets in motion a beginning of a new cycle or rebirth. On the Tree of Life, the path of death leads us from Netzach, which is victory, to Tiferet, beauty. It is a path of personal evolution, the path on which the energy of the ego or personality goes through a physical death to reconceptualize an initiation of the higher self. And here we have a change of perception about nature of reality and the understanding of what constitutes death. It is our will to live, a very desire to continue to function of a personality in the corporeal state that is abolished in the path of death. And yes, to achieve that, we sacrifice a physical being. It is a scary endeavor. In the words of Carl Jung, by descending into the unconscious, the conscious mind puts itself in a perilous condition, for it is apparently extinguishing itself. In the death card, we realize that both death and birth are essentially the same. As we are born into the world of matter, we die in the world of spirit. And as we die in the material world, we are born into the spirit world, and so it goes. The zodiac sign that rules death is Scorpio. In this card, Scorpio is represented by its three symbols: the scorpion, the serpent, and the eagle. It is a representation of the transition of the path of death from a dangerous, poisonous, primitive crawling creature into the serpent that intertwines its way up into the light to become an eagle, a free creature that soars high above us. Also in this card, we see a soul at the moment of crossing over, as it presents itself to Azrael, the angel of death, the same hermaphrodite angel that will appear in the Temperance and the Devil cards. It is the fool himself that is presented here, but at this stage, he is a fool no more. He is standing in front of a light tunnel awaiting his life review. In simplest of terms, the death trump represents changes, but unlike the Tower card, which promises an unwanted and immediate destruction, the changes of death are welcomed and coveted. And finally, to address the element of death, which is water, is perfectly fitting, because it is in water that we are born and die. And it also is water that carries us through the tumultuous ups and downs, the changes of life in the afterlife.